Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Double Chen Show.
I'm Dan.
I am Mike. If you haven't already, please follow us on Instagram, which is awesome. And check us out on Snapchat.
Check Mike out on Snapchat.
I just started using it.
I don't have one.
Whatever, I'm playing around with it.
I tried to use it.
Yeah.
I'm too old for it. I don't know how to use it. I
See,
don't know how.
I said this on Instagram. I said, I'm trying to learn how to use Snapchat, and people were like, you don't know how to use it? I'm like,
No,
it's kind of complicated to me, honestly. Anyway, so today we have a really serious topic, and when this story broke, when it was kind of like, getting around everywhere last week, I didn't really want to talk about it because this really isn't a topic I'm really comfortable with because hatred starts filling my heart for these animals.
Absolutely.
And I can't bring myself to actually talk about it.
Right.
But because there's so much press on it, I decided to go back and look at this article, and so did you. And after reading this article, we need to talk about this.
I think we got to talk about it because it brings up a lot of important things that I think we can shed some light on.
Right.
Whether or not it's, this stuff is still being played out in life. I mean, this stuff is still being played out in the news right now.
Yes.
It's gonna be months before the ruling's gonna come down, right? But what I wanted to address is this stuff happens, and what we're talking about is this girl, freshman named Jackie, was at a University of Virginia frat house.
Right, and she's
go ahead.
She was with a a junior.
Right.
And we do have the link of the story in our description box below. So if you guys, if you want to read the full story, it's quite long. I can go ahead and read that.
Right.
And she's all, she admires this guy. She obviously has a huge crush on this guy.
Right.
And this guy, from the sounds of it, he's a pretty smooth operator, whatever.
Right.
Brings her to a frat party.
Not only any frat party, it's like the frat party on campus.
And I guess the fraternities, they play a huge role on this campus. Because some campuses is not a big fraternity campus.
Like, would you say yours was?
Mine was not.
Right,
Mine was definitely under 30% student body. This University of Virginia sounds like massive fraternity, playground, and she's in this party. And the guy, they're dancing or whatever. And the guy says, let me show you my room, whatever. They go up to the room, and when they walk inside, there's no light.
Right.
And then she gets attacked.
Right.
And is basically raped by several guys for over 3 hours or so.
So that's basically what happened. But what we want to talk about is basically, what I want to bring up is in a college like this, okay, rape. The reason why it took her so long to bring it up is because, people look down on people who actually accuse others of rape.
Right.
Because they think like, oh, this happens everywhere. This happens in college every single day, especially during this time when people are going out, first-year students, and most people just kind of turn a blind eye. And after a while, the pains kind of get tucked away. And to me, that's what's appalling about this story, is that her friends even were like, do you really want to bring this into light? Because it could make the university look really bad. That's
the part of the story that once I got there, the light bulb in my head was just like shrieking, we got to do an episode on this.
Exactly.
Because when I got there, that part of the article, I literally wanted to vomit.
Absolutely.
I wanted to punch her friends in the face. I'm not a violent person.
Yeah.
If I was there, I would have punched her friends in the face because I can't even make out words about how unbelievable, that whole scenario played out after she was attacked.
Right.
So basically, she called her friend, and she was still in the fraternity. She woke up, she's alone.
Right.
She calls her friend to pick her up. So a girl and 2 guys came.
Yeah.
And then what do? They start debating about whether she should actually report this.
Absolutely.
And then it's the guys.
Yep.
This is why my blood is boiling even right now when I think about it. The guys were like, maybe we shouldn't have reported because we want to rush fraternities this year or next year. We don't want to be known as the guys who rat out. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. This is where, to me, it becomes unacceptable. It becomes these people should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And to me, if I had my way, I would shut down all these programs that have these things in it in schools, because this should never happen. I mean, can you imagine like your friend gets raped and you're debating whether or not to go to the authorities because your personal reputation could be at stake? Like, this is like the
sickening.
Thing.
It is the most sickening thing. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm getting all worked up because this. Ugh.
So to me, like, okay, what this illustrates is this. Okay, the power of the masses can be extremely bad and malevolent and evil if you don't do anything about it. Meaning, like, clearly these people have been kind of conditioned to put themselves first. And also because you're doing everything for yourself. Like, oh, my reputation, like this is gonna affect me down the line. My association with you. So you can actually stand aside right and wrong because you're worried about yourself. Like, that's to me is just like unfathomable. So, and this kind of goes out to like any kind of hazing, any kind of things where this is acceptable. And like me and you have been in college, like you've been in a frat. I've played sports, you know, where a lot of hazing takes place, you know? So to me, like, this is, as long as people feel that this is acceptable, this is just like the worst thing ever.
You know what gets me on this story? She knew the guy. She knew the guy. It's not like, okay, there is a mysterious sexual assault predator roaming around campus. We don't know who he is because he wears a ski mask.
Right.
She knows this guy. Right. She recognized the voices of the other people who attacked her. Right. She knows who basically the attackers, in their minds, they're just like, yeah, we're just going to rape this girl.
Exactly.
She knows. It's just, I can't believe these people are just like, oh, she knows who I am. That's okay.
Right. And one of the things that was said in the article was, like, people are like, the frat people, like, there was one guy that was kind of hesitant to rape her. And the people were like, stop being a wuss, basically. So not only are they condoning this and encouraging this, but it's almost like they leave the guy with no choice. It's like, you're not one of us if you don't do this. If you don't commit a heinous crime, you can't belong to this frat. So this is where I would totally, like, if I was in charge, frats are, I have nothing against frats. Nothing against frats. Nothing against camaraderie, brotherhood, even a little secret society stuff, you know, like, but what I can't condone is once, say, even like your sport or your sport and your frat does stuff like this, to me, there should be a no tolerance policy.
Well, here is what seems to me like, you ever seen those movies where, you know, like a Steven Seagal or Van Damme movie where he goes into this little town and the sheriff, the local police is on the side of the locals. And they do all sorts of shady stuff and they're above the law, it seems like. It seems like the frats here, they don't, to them, there's no law. Absolutely. There's like, oh, we can do whatever we want. And the fact is, see, this could have, and she waited 3 years before this story came out. This could have been brought to light 3 years ago. That night, what should have happened was her friends picked her up right away, go to the police, get them, arrest these people, you know, start the process already. I can't believe 3 years, and there's other victims. She wasn't the only one, and there are many more people probably who haven't stepped out because even right now, on this campus is divided. There are people who are saying shut down the frats. There are people who are saying, well, you know, you can't judge it based on what, like, these people. How do you know it's just those people? Because if this is a situation that's going on in this fraternity, what is this fraternity? The Phi Kappa Psi. If that's what's going on there, how do you know it's not going on anywhere else? Not saying it is, but how do you know that? Because this is like, you know what this is? This is a gang mentality. And this is also one of those things where, how could a campus have a culture where the victims of such a heinous crime, feel like they can't speak out about this for 3 years? And for other people, probably they never spoke out about it. Probably there are people who went to this college, graduated, went on with their lives, never said a single thing.
And I want to piggyback on that. So not only is it the gang mentality of the people itself, but also to me, it's hugely related to the higher ups. And I'll point those people right out. I'm talking about the president of the board of the university, the president of the university, the dean. I mean, the whole entire faculty of the university is to be blamed as well. Here's why. Like you said, this should have came into light as soon as it happened. But the fact that it's 2014 and this is just now where this story got a lot of publicity. I'm sorry, it's just now that this story was written, and there's probably been decades, if not dozens of, lots of decades, sorry, of this happening, means that, and this is illustrated in the article, where the higher-ups need to do one thing. They need to make sure that the university is profitable. People forget that university, whether public or private, needs to be profitable, okay? And one of the things that makes me absolutely angry is that they say, mom and dads don't want to send their kids to a school that has a reputation where their kids might get raped. Duh. So that's why the higher-ups do everything they can to hide this. And they don't, see, they do it in a really sneaky way. They don't go, you gotta hide this. They do what they're supposed to do. They get internal investigation. They present, like in the article says, the person she turned to, who she's supposed to entrust, gives her these choices. So it seems like they are helping. But I get it. They don't want to encourage her to report this because they don't want to seem like they're holding her hand.
Which is ridiculous.
Right. They should, instead of not encourage her to report this, if, let's say I'm a police chief, okay? Let's say I'm the university president and somebody came to me, I'd be like, you know what? I'll risk people not coming to my university because I will put this out. I will basically incarcerate everybody and I will wipe my university clean of these heinous crimes. Then, once the reputation that I don't stand for this and my school doesn't, I guarantee you people will send people to my school.
This is what I hate, and I've hated this for a long time. I was an RA in college, and so were you.
Yep.
And this is one of those things I strongly, carefully explain to my residents. Every year, in the beginning of the year, I make this very clear. I only have one strong policy under my jurisdiction. I say, if anybody is making you guys feel uncomfortable, any unwelcome advances, you come talk to me.
Absolutely.
Because look, there's too many people in this world that treat sexual assault like it's nothing. There's too many.
Absolutely.
When I first went to college, there was a statistic given to us. It was 1 in 4 girls has been sexually assaulted or raped. And we talked about this in our dorm, and guys were like, "Oh, that can't be true. That means like 1, 2, 3, 4. That means one of you girls."
Yeah, it's true.
So this is something I've always taken seriously as an RA, and this never I've always had a pristine, really nice group of residents, and none of this stuff luckily ever happened under my watch. But this whole thing about this is why I wanted to punch our friends in the face. Even today, if I saw it's just you guys who are entering college right now, who are in high school, here's the friends you don't want. All right, here are the friends you do not want. If you go through something, hopefully none of our viewers ever have to go through something as heinous as this. Ever, not even close to something like this. If you have friends that won't back you up when you are the victim of something, get rid of those people.
Oh yeah.
These 2 guys in the story that try to convince her not to report because they wanted to rush a fraternity. Let's say we had a friend and she was assaulted like this. Would you and I want to join a group of people that assaulted our friend?
Exactly. Never. And so this is where somehow the culture of college, these guys are like, I need to be in this frat, so I'll do everything, including throw my friend under the bus. That's, what that reminds me of? Communist China. I mean, are you with the Cultural Revolution? Are you with the government party, or are you standing for freedom? To me, this is the exact things that in life where you got to choose between right and wrong, but what's standing in the way is your own personal gain.
Can I also say something from the perspective of having been in a fraternity? I don't think fraternities. I don't think there's any use for them.
I agree.
You might not agree with me because you are in one. I was in one too. So, let me have my opinion. You can have yours.
Exactly.
I don't. We talked about this before when we talked about entering college, and we said, you know what? And I've said this. I said, wait a year before you join a fraternity or sorority. Let me tell you how I really, 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 truly feel about fraternities and sororities.
Right.
They're unnecessary. How does it help people? Okay, some people say, oh, it gave me friends. Okay, you can make friends by joining a club.
Exactly.
You can make friends by
Right.
doing a lot of things.
Join the drama club.
You don't need to
Join the
pay
book club.
dues every year to call somebody your sisters or your brothers. Oh, it helped me connections. You know what? There's a lot of ways to make connections.
Absolutely.
I've been in a fraternity.
Absolutely.
I never used a connection once. Like 90% of the people who are in fraternities or sororities, they won't ever use that connection.
Right.
I'll tell you what they're used for, really. Why people join these organizations, really. Like the girls, I don't know, it might be a little different because some girls are like, okay, I really do want to join this sorority because of sisterhood or whatever. Like, guys join it because of girls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys join fraternities. Let me say this again. Guys join fraternities because of girls.
Absolutely.
That is it.
Right.
You know, and we all have this interview process. Oh, what do you want to join our fraternity? Brotherhood.
No.
Guys
BS.
join fraternity
BS.
because of girls. And this stuff happens when you get a bunch of hormonal guys all together. All they're thinking about is girls. They get a house. They get some letters across their chest. They think they're big shots. And this kind of stuff happens because these people think they can do whatever they want.
Right. And this stuff usually happens a lot more in the South, okay? Because frat life, sports is the biggest thing in college, right? I went to school in the Northeast. Our frat, no one was dying to rush Northeastern frats.
Right.
No one cared, okay? Northeastern sports, oh, okay, yeah, they had a football team, but no one cared. Therefore, to me, like, when I was in RA, this stuff, I've never had a resident come to me with this. I was around my residents a lot. I hung out with them a lot because honestly, like, because there's no culture of this. But when you go down to the South, you have a huge culture of this, and this is just one out of thousands, tens of thousands of stories, hundreds of thousands over the last, I don't even want to imagine how many years, the last century, and even 2000, we're almost at 2015, I really hope this story is a launch point for, like, basically schools like this and administrations like this. To me, the administration needs to go. I'm saying that right now. Get out, because yeah, you're worried about your pockets, but what the message you're giving is we're trying to tread lightly, and they're not basically being proactive into getting rid of this heinous evil from our campuses. So as long as you're not doing that, I'll never send my kids to your school. I'll tell everybody, never send your kids to any school where Greek life and athletic life dominates life.
You know what I say to our interns, you know, that work with us, we're our friends that are entering college, and I'm saying this to you guys because you guys are our friends too.
Yep,
I've
absolutely.
always said this. I'm like, don't choose schools that have a huge Greek life.
Yep.
Don't choose schools that have a huge sports program.
Don't do it.
Like USC to me is just like, oh,
do it.
never go there. Like,
Don't do it.
if you want to get a good college experience, that's fine, but you don't need to take it above and
do it.
beyond.
Right.
It's like some of these schools do. Look, not all fraternities are crazy, obviously. Mine was pretty nice. You know, my guys never gave me any crap, whatever. But there's common threads between all fraternities, right? Like we talked about, all guys are in fraternities. Why? Girls.
Yep.
Okay. Do fraternities haze? Yes, they
Yes,
do.
they do. Absolutely.
Did they say that? Oh no, we don't haze. Delta Chi. I'm a member of Delta. I'm a member of Delta Chi. Yeah. We're known for the first fraternity to abolish hazing. Do we haze? Yeah, we haze. Like everybody hazes, everybody does this stuff. You get into when you're pledging a fraternity or sorority, you get into like a mindset of like, you're basically in a military boot camp, like during some days, and you're just like, your mind's, it's kind of like you're being brainwashed a bit. You'll do anything to get in. You'll do anything to get in, and especially the last week when you endure like a semester of crap and you're like initiation week. I'll do anything to get in. It really messes with your head.
Right, and I want to piggyback again on that. And so the overall thing that I remember when you're saying that is, don't get into anything for popularity. Don't do it. What you said is a perfect example of why to avoid Greek life and to avoid schools that have an abundance of athletic and Greek life is because that stuff is the most popular. You're going to be pressured to doing things because you want to fit in or be popular. But if you are not chasing popularity or the need to fit in, then you're not going to care, and you're gonna have a much better life.
And I'll tell you this right now, all that stuff after college means absolutely nothing. Absolutely zero. I promise you guys, whatever you think, a lot of people, they come out of high school because high school is a big popularity contest, right? You go into college, you kind of have the same mentality. I want to join the most popular frat. I want to be in the prettiest sorority. You have those mentalities. I'm going to tell you guys, after college, seriously, you can't put that stuff on a resume.
You can't.
I'm the most popular. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
All right?
I was the most popular. Seriously?
Nobody cares. And trust me, guys, you don't want to like go into college seeking that kind of stuff.
No.
You want to know what the best thing to do in college is to get the best experience? Be an RA. Honestly, I'll tell you that right now.
Yep.
You'll thank me if you do this.
Absolutely.
It will make you come out of your shell. It will make you more confident. It will help you be a better communicator, problem solver. I guarantee you, if you want to think down the road about your life, being an RA will help you immensely in getting internships, your first job. That's going to help you. Being a fraternity will not.
It's ironic, right? Because RA is the only position in college that actually looks good on paper.
Yeah.
Like, and people think like, oh, frats, yeah, they're gonna get me a job. No. That res life thing, when you're getting your first job, that actually helps a lot.
Oh,
it helps
all my
tremendously.
internships I got because I was able to relate the interview questions to experiences that I've had when I was an RA. So guys, do that and you'll thank me down the road. I just don't understand people that go into schools like, you know, I mean, I've been there, but I still don't get it. I didn't pledge till like later in my college. I didn't pledge when I was a freshman. You know, I wanted to see what was out there. And you know what? I just don't understand people that come in, like they have a purpose. They're like, before the first day of school, they're like, oh, I know who I'm going to rush. First semester, I'm in school, I know who I'm going to rush. These guys, they throw the best. That's the thing, right? Listen to, if you don't believe me, go around, listen to their reasons for why they want to rush a fraternity. Listen to the reasons. It's always going to be like, oh, they throw the best parties. Oh, they're the most popular guys.
Translation, I'll get the most girls.
Obviously, make your own choices. I gave you my perspective. All right, guys, if you want to comment on this topic, please do so in the comment section below. And again, thanks so much for watching. See ya.
Peace.